Sakafet YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Let's cook with me from start to finish. Hello my darlings, we're jumping straight into it. So I'm gonna start off by making some green seasoning, starting off with some peeled garlic. I also add in some bell peppers. I like to go in with some of my pimento peppers. These ones were actually from the Caribbean. I brought this with me 2 weeks ago when I came from St. Lucia. They're also called seasoning peppers. And then I also have some chopped up spring onions. Bear in mind everything has been cleaned and washed off camera just to save some time. I'm also gonna go in with some red onion as well as some white onion. And then I'm going to go in with some celery as well as some parsley, and then we're going to add some oil just to blend that up. So this is how I make just a simple and quick green seasoning, and I'm going to be using it in my cooking today. Usually I have some on hand, but I don't have any, and I thought let's just blend some up quickly. Okay, so once everything is fully blended, it's going to come out looking so beautiful. I actually used my Ninja food processor to blend it up. This is my trusty food processor. I've had that for about 4 years now, and I absolutely love it. Still going strong. And yes, this is the green seasoning all done. I'm going to remove the blade just to show you how beautiful it's all looking. But yes, darlings, once the green seasoning is done, set it to one side, and we're going to jump straight into this recipe. Now today's recipe is a special request from hubby. He wanted some salmon with some dumplings, and I thought, you know what, let's record a cook with me. This recipe is so simple, just a nice weeknight dinner. My boys are actually having some chicken fingers and some chips because it's Monday, and this is what they usually have on Mondays, and I just think it makes my life so much easier. But yes, darlings, got my salmon that I got from Sainsbury, and again, not sponsored, and I'm just gonna slice it up into some equal slices, okay, because it's just for hubby and myself. And yes, darlings, this is how it looks. So I'll go ahead and clean it with some lemon juice and some cold water, get rid of any scales and everything like that. I did that off camera, of course. And then once it was all cleaned, I placed them on some paper towels, and I'm just gonna dab off any extra moisture before seasoning it up. Don't forget to check down below in the description box for every single measurement. Season, I went in with some oil, of course, and I'm gonna add in a little bit of salt, some mixed herbs, some of my spice Jamaica reggae blend seasoning. This is my favorite all-purpose seasoning. And I'm also gonna add in some freshly cracked black pepper as well as some paprika for color. And we also gonna add a little bit of chili flakes just for a little spice, not much, about 1/4 teaspoon, because I can't really handle that, but spice is not something we enjoy at home, so just a little something for some kick. Okay, and then I'm going to use my hands and rub that in well. Massage it in till it looks really beautifully seasoned. And yes, darlings, once the salmon is fully seasoned, you want to set it to one side so we can work on those dumplings. For the dumplings, I'm gonna go ahead with my plain flour, and I'm gonna use about 1.5 cups of plain flour. You can make as much or as little as you like, but I'm not making too much. I also add in a little pinch of salt and a pinch of mixed herbs. This is optional, it's just how I love to make my own dumplings. Over here I've got 1/2 cup of water, just some regular cold water, and I'm just gonna add that in gradually. Okay, so add some, mix it in, add the remainder and mix it in some more. If you like your dumplings firm or soft, you can add more or less water. Hubby likes his really hard. This is why I tend to not add too much water in there. Okay, so now you're gonna knead it. Put those arm muscles out, yeah, because oh my goodness, kneading dumplings is not my favorite thing to do, I'll tell you that, because oh my gosh. But yes, we have a nice hard, pretty firm dough. I'm gonna let the dough rest because I find the dumplings is better when the dough has rested for a bit. And then we're gonna crack on with the veg. So for veg today, we've got some asparagus tips as well as 1 red bell pepper. I did find some broccoli in my fridge after raiding it, and I added it to it as well. And yes, my darling, just a very simple veg today. Honestly, it's just so simple to prepare. Once my veg was all prepped, I love to wash my veg with some vinegar and cold water. This is what I always do, and drain it off. Then I go in with a little bit of my mixed herbs. I also add in some of my all-purpose seasoning, and I add in some butter. These 3 things to make my veg in every single video. That's what you're gonna see. Okay, so Spice Jamaica, big up Chef Ali, love this seasoning. And yes, my darlings, once you've added these 3 seasonings, and well, not 3 seasonings, once you've added these 3 ingredients to your veg, cover that up and let it steam on low for about 5 minutes. But yes, we're gonna crack on with our dumplings because this is gonna take longest to cook because the fish literally cooks in no time at all. So I'm gonna section the dough into some small pieces, and then we're gonna roll it out into some dumplings. You can make the dumplings in any shape or form, whichever one that you like. I just want to make some round dumplings, and we're gonna go ahead and boil that up in some salted water. Now that my dumplings have all been rolled out, I did have a pot of water on the side boiling, and I did add a little pinch of salt to it. So I'm gonna add the dumplings in. And also guys, I think a nice little tip is to add a little drop of oil, which will stop the dumplings from sticking. I never do this, but hubby suggested it, so I thought, okay, let's try. And it did work, by the way, it did work. So add your dumplings to the pot of boiling water, and then you want to cover it up. The one thing I will say, covering it up fully, it will boil over, but but I like to just leave the lid on the side like that and let it cook. So while the dumpling is cooking and the veg is steaming, we're gonna work on that fish. It's gonna cook so quickly. So I go in with a little bit of butter and I add a little bit of oil and I let that melt. Now I'm gonna tell you my mistake very early on. I added all 3 pieces of salmon to the pot and I should not have done that. I should have known better because this pot is not non-stick. So it did actually stick even though there was no moisture on the fish. But yes, darlings, if you have a non-stick pan, you can go ahead and add in all your salmon pieces. But this one was not non-stick and TERRI-ANN messed up. This is the veg looking so good. I didn't add any liquid in there. This is just a bit of steam and butter and it's cooking down beautifully. The dumplings in the back, they are cooking beautifully as well. They're probably ready now, to be fair, because it takes less than 5-10 minutes to cook dumplings. It just cooks so quickly, right? And yes, darling, so the fish, as I was trying to turn it over, it was sticking, it was falling apart. I nearly did not put out this video because, to be honest with you, I felt like I should have known better. But hey, these things happen, and instead of not posting the video, I shared it anyway. So after the fish is cooked, go ahead and remove it from the pan. Then we're gonna saute some of that fresh green seasoning that we made earlier. So a good heaping tablespoon or 2 or 3 of the green seasoning, and guys, so flavorful. And yeah, this is me wiping as I go along because I cannot stand cooking on a dirty stove. And yes, darlings, mix that in well. As you can see, it's looking absolutely amazing. And then, my darlings, we are gonna season lightly with a little bit of all-purpose seasoning, and you don't need to add any salt because the all-purpose seasoning is so packed with flavor, you don't need it. And we are just gonna add in some curry powder as well. So just some all-purpose seasoning and curry powder, and I'm gonna mix that in well. It's looking and smelling so good. And then I'm gonna add in half a cup of coconut milk, and we're gonna let that cook down on low for about 5 minutes. Once our sauce was cooked, I did go in with my cooked salmon and I let it cook in the sauce for about 5 more minutes because I just wanted it to absorb those flavors. And yes, my darlings, it's looking so good. You can only imagine how amazing it smells. Cover it up for about 5 minutes and my veg was done. Took about 5 minutes and my dumplings were also done. So everything pretty much cooked in about half an hour. This was such a quick dinner, and this is it plated up, of course. So I really hope you enjoyed the recipe. Try it soon. Let me know what you think about it. This has been a quick cook with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one.